Reggie Edwards, the Front Row Report. I am here. It is Friday, and I have David Carr from Third Day on the phone. David, thank you for calling in, and thanks for taking time to talk to me. It's good to talk to you again.
It's good to talk to you as well.
Man, you guys just finished up the Roadshow about a week and a half ago, if that. It's been a busy year for you guys so far. What sticks out about that tour? I know last time we talked, you guys had just played the first show of the tour, and now that it's over, let's look back at it.
Yeah, the tour was really great. I'm supposed to say that, but honestly, it was a really a fun time. I think just being out with such a diverse group of artists, Loyal Taylor and Skillet and Andy Mineo. There's just tons of artists that I just felt like we really connected with, and then I think it brought something special to the fans where, and just like many of these multi-artist tours do, it's just it's kind of something for everybody. But that's what people see out front, but backstage, we get the insider perspective on everybody else who's touring and their personalities, and there's just there was a really cool, it was almost like a mission trip group or something, just like this really great camaraderie amongst everybody. I really enjoyed that.
Awesome. One thing I found really, really cool about it was not just the really diverse lineup, but I think it was on the last day of the tour, a video surfaced online. It was I can't remember what it was, but it was all of the artists on the tour did the cover song of Katy Perry's "Roar." Were you in on that? I was hard to see who was actually in that.
I showed up for a few seconds. I think I'm the guy, you see Max come in, and we were all huddled in this hallway trying to find out where to come in, and I kind of just got stuck in this one spot, and I remember standing there going, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to dance, and I play the drums, and that's about it. I don't.
Right.
So I felt kind of like I was sticking out like a sore thumb, but it was fun. You try not to take yourself too seriously with things like that.
Yeah, that was just fun to watch. It was awesome. Not a song you would expect either. It was really cool.
No, and there was a little bit of back and forth about it. Should we do this song or should we not? Because some people might take it the wrong way or something. But I figured the lyrics. We just spoke on the lyrics of that song. I think there's a pretty cool message there, and just I don't know. It was just more about doing something current that everybody might know. So
yeah, I think people take things, especially music, way too seriously sometimes, and especially sometimes in the Christian world. Should we do this or not? Is it okay for us to do this? Just go out there and have fun. It's just music. There's some things you really shouldn't do, but it was the fans are gonna love it, and that's what's important.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We've really noticed over the years a shift in the Christian audience, those who listen to Christian music. I remember when we first started, it was kind of like you either listened to Christian music or you didn't. But there weren't a lot of people that listened to sort of a little bit of everything. Yeah. That's a bit of an overstatement, but it just seemed like so many people we met kind of like once they had burned all of their kind of mainstream secular CDs or whatever, they were done with it, and I really respected it because I thought there are a lot of people who really they need to constantly hear this message of the gospel and everything, and we all need to hear that. But I think for us as artists, we look at the broad arena of music and we see a lot of talent there, whether it's truly there to glorify Christ or not, I don't know, but the fact is God has given so many people amazing talent, and as artists, we kind of have to celebrate that.
Yeah, and you touched on it a little bit. Christian music has really evolved in the now compared to where it was, when you guys started, when your debut came out, maybe 95 or 96. Back then there was maybe a handful of really, really great artists at the forefront of things, and now it's just, and there was one really straight sound that was popular in Christian music that got to radio, and now, you know, there's the emergence of Christian rap, and Christian rock has really come up, and metal, and there's just, it's so diverse, you know, from where you guys, where it was when you started, how is, you know, with you being in the industry and in it, how has it evolved to you, and how has it been for you as an artist to watch it evolve, being in it for so long?
Well, you know, it has evolved. Part of that's just life, you know. That's just the way things are. But the whole music industry at large has evolved because, you know, obviously with just the way people are getting their music now, and it just seems like for a long time it was such a niche thing, you know. Just it was a growing, fledgling industry, if you want to call it an industry. But the genre of Christian music was just kind of, you know, in its early days, it was just figuring out what it was, and you didn't have nearly the number of people listening to it because you didn't have nearly the number of radio stations that you do now.
Right.
And it's been really amazing. I think we feel very privileged to have sort of grown up with it, and to hopefully have been a part of that transforming element of Christian music, just to be a part of that evolution. You know, I think Third Day has had the opportunity to be a part of that, and we got that early on, and it's really difficult now for, I mean, one of the things I think is unfortunate is it's difficult for some of the new artists, who can be so talented and so, I mean, they blow us away from what we were putting out when we first started, and, you know, it's really hard for them to get a fair break in the industry, and that really comes down to radio, unfortunately. But you know, radio programmers are trying to play what the folks want to hear, and they're always trying to figure out what that is, and there's always this debate and discussion going on amongst artists about, well, how much do you give them what they want, and how much do you tell them what to like? You know, how much do you tell them what they want? Because if you're always waiting just to see what everybody wants, and you're always following that, then, you know, you might be shooting yourself in the foot because you end up playing the same thing over and over and over again. And I don't say that to sound ungrateful for all that we've, you know, all the success we've enjoyed, but it's a tricky thing. It's hard to break new artists and to really do it well. And but there's so much talent out there, and that's what I've really seen change. Is just the number of amazing artists that are just doing really great stuff. I mean, Andy Mineo blew my mind, and I'm not a big hip hop guy, but he blew my mind as far as how good he was. And again, I mentioned Royal Taylor. I became a real fan of those guys very quickly.
Yeah,
and that's just a couple.
Yeah, and like you said, it is hard for new artists to get noticed now, but I really think that's where, you know, tours like the Roadshow or Winter Jam, those are really great tools for newer artists because you don't have to play a 30, 40-minute set. You know, you're on this lineup with the legends and the vets that everyone comes to see, and you get your 15 to 20 minutes on stage, and, you know, everyone's showing up early to get a good spot in the crowd to see those guys, so you're gonna be in front of 20, 30,000 people every night, and so it's a great
absolutely
tool.
It really is.
Yeah, and now coming to the tour that is coming up, kicking off in Toledo, Ohio next Thursday, you are going back on tour with Skillet, and Jamie Grace is going to be on the tour. We as Humans on the tour again. Peter Furler is on it as well. It's kind of like the Roadshow Part 2, kind of.
It really is, yeah. It really is. I mean, it's for us and Skillet, it's not going to feel a whole lot different as far as, you know, just being on the road together, the two of us, and then you know, a bunch of other artists. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I think there's a little bit of familiarity already, but at the same time, it's always great to bring these new not new, but new, you know, a new group of artists out, to be out there with Peter Furler, who, you know, Peter gave us one of our first big breaks. I mean, letting us open for Newsboys back in 1996. That was huge. That really set us on a good course, and so anytime we get to tour with him is great. And Brandon Heath and Mandisa are going to be out for a good part of the tour. And, you know, again, I talk about the wealth of talent and just the variety. It's pretty awesome. And you know, I've kind of questioned it for a while. I didn't know how much fans really wanted to come here. You know, so it's kind of like going to a buffet. You know, it's like, do you just give everybody a little bit of something, a little bit of a lot of things, or do you give them just a few things and do it really well? Right. But for some reason, people really seem to love it, and it's given everybody in the audience something to enjoy.
Right. Now, on the Roadshow, you guys, obviously with the large amount of artists on that tour, you guys weren't able to play a horribly long set. I went to the Louisville show, and it's interesting. Yeah. It's weird when you see a co-headline tour or a headliner only play 40 minutes or so, you play less than an hour. It was, it's going to happen. Now, on this tour, are you guys going to be able to play longer sets than you were able to do on the Roadshow, because it's a smaller lineup? Or
yeah, it is a smaller lineup. We will play a little longer. It's not a whole lot longer. I think we played for 50 minutes. We were playing 35 on the last one. So,
yeah.
But, that'll give everybody another 3 songs or so to hear. And then Skillet, I think, will play about the same amount of time. And,
right.
It is tough. And we, every night, we hear, why didn't you play this song? Why didn't you play that song? And, I mean, we could just, that list could keep going on and on of why didn't we play X, Y, or Z. But,
right.
You do the best you can.
Right. So. Fans don't completely understand that a 35 to 40-minute set is only maybe 7 or 8 songs, because you have to talk.
Yeah.
You have to talk in between, and when you've got a catalog that spans as far back as Third Day or Skillet, because you guys, your debuts came out around the same time as each other. You guys came up together at the same time.
Right.
There's going to, naturally be a lot of songs you can't play. But there's going to be the ones that you have to play. Cry Out to Jesus is going to be in there.
Yeah.
You're
right. There are some that are just like you can't not do them. I mean, God of Wonders is probably one of those that we just will always have to do it. And I say have to like it's a burden, but we the only problem with that is that we have all these other songs that we'd love to get to play, but you just kind of have to. It's tough to do it all, and to do it all in a way that makes everybody feel somewhat satisfied with what they heard, But the thing, honestly, I feel like one of the advantages for Third Day always has been that it seems that our fans are fans of the band more than they are fans of this song or that song. They'll have their favorite, but it's about what happens on stage amongst the 6 of us who are on stage playing. There's a thing there that I think that is the hit song rather than just any one song.
Exactly.
That's the hit factor. So.
Right. Now, finally, Miracle's been out about a year and a half or so, going on 2 years. Any plans for some new music coming out in the near future? I know you guys are wrapping up support for the Miracle record. I think I read that maybe May was going to be the end of the support cycle, the touring cycle for the record or something. Any plans to release a new record here in the near future? Have you been writing, or where are we at with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We just started about a month ago, just kind of getting back into it, and just figuring out what we want to do next. And we don't really have any solid plans as far as what the album will be and, who's going to produce it and all that. But we know that, in the next couple of months, we will be easing our way back into the studio. So
awesome.
Fans can look forward to that.
Awesome. Any plans to work with Brendan O'Brien again? I know you guys brought him in for Miracle. It sounded like he really brought in a strong rock presence for the record with everyone he's worked with in the past, and it sounds like that kind of rubbed off a little bit. Would you say that's pretty accurate there, or what did he bring to the table?
Oh, absolutely. He was Brendan really challenged us in a lot of ways. It's funny because we hired him to produce the album because of artists like Stone Temple Pilots and Pearl Jam and things like that. That we thought, well, we sort of fit into that vibe. And I'm Stone Temple Pilots. Back in the heyday, the stuff he worked on, that was 20 years ago. So we're not trying to sound like something that was 20 years ago, but we've always respected him for the sound that he got on his albums, and we thought, well, maybe he'll just kind of make us sound like one of those bands. And it's funny because he kind of went the complete other way, and it's definitely rock, but he had some pop sensibilities that he brought in that really with songs like Kicking and Screaming and stuff, where it's just it's not what we expected, and it was good for that because. And I think a lot of producers do that. They kind of know that, hey, I'm known for this, so I'm not going to just always do this. I'm going to challenge the norm a little bit and shake it up. And I feel like he really did a good job of that. And it was not the easiest album to make. I mean, we definitely were stretched but I always equate it to like working, like I guess if a football team's working with a new coach that's really hard, but he's a good coach and he produces results. They're not going to just love the process the whole time. There's going to be some stress and anxiety and insecurity and things like that. And we experienced every one of those emotions, but in the end, I feel like we made a really great album. And I don't know as far as who we're going to work with. We really just don't know at this point. We're just trying to get our song ideas together, and then we'll start pitching them to whoever wants to hear them.
Awesome, man! Thank you so much for taking time today. You're
welcome.
It's been awesome, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Indianapolis, February 28th, next Friday, a week from today. We will be getting ready to see you guys in Indianapolis. Looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, man.
See ya.